One question that is often asked throughout the Destiny community is what is the best raid of all time? Most original Destiny 1 players would likely say Wrath of the Machine.
He must be pooping his pants right now.
Now this raid is currently the only raid from Destiny 1 that Bungie has yet to remaster. So far, Bungie's remastered Vault of Glass, Crota's End, and King's Fall. With the final shape coming up, we're likely going to see a new raid with that, and hopefully a few seasons into the final shape we'll get Wrath of the Machine remastered on Destiny 2. Now there is another option where after final shape, Destiny 3 might release, and Bungie might want to keep Wrath of the Machine for a potential release of Destiny 3. But I'm not going to start getting my hopes up yet for the possible chance of Destiny 3 being a thing. Now another big factor on my deep dive into the only raid that hasn't been brought back from Destiny 1 is that I've actually never played Wrath of the Machine since I'm a relatively new Destiny player. However, my twin brother is a seasoned veteran, so he's going to be helping me a ton when making this video. Now you might be wondering why this raid was so enjoyable if you haven't played it yourself, so without further delay, let's talk about the only Destiny 1 raid that is yet to be remastered in Destiny 2, Wrath of the Machine. We also have a Twitch channel. We'll be going live soon on that if you want to go ahead and watch us live. Super quick background of this raid is that the Splicers, who are a secret collective in Fallen Houses that have been cybernetically enhanced, have built an army and are preparing for war. It's our job to break into their base and destroy their leadership. Now there's a great deal more background, but for time's sake, I can't get into all that in this video alone. I'd highly recommend checking out some lore videos on this raid if you ever get the chance. The first main reason people love Wrath of the Machine so much is because of the really fun encounters. The Wrath of the Machine raid has a total of 5 encounters. The first encounter begins at Foundry 113, which is located in the Plague Lands, which is a location at Old Russia on the Earth. This encounter is decently simple, with it requiring your fire team to gather voltage by coming in contact with glowing plates scattered across the first encounter room. Once you achieve maximum voltage, you deliver the voltage before the time expires. Once enough voltage has been delivered, the boss will spawn. You can then begin destroying the boss's shield by throwing the Siva charges at Vosik, which is the boss, and these Siva charges are created from depositing voltage around the first encounter location. For this encounter, you don't actually kill the boss, but you drop his health down to 15%, then he disappears. The idea of having multiple boss fights for one boss makes the bosses just seem much stronger, and is something I think they might do for the Witness in the final shape. This encounter is pretty simple, straightforward, and if they brought this raid to Destiny 2, I wonder what Destiny would end up changing if they would change anything. The second encounter is located in the Splicer's Den. This encounter room is separated into 3 different lanes leading up to the boss's platform. This is where Vosik is located. Once the encounter begins, 3 Siva charges drop and 3 Guardians will be charged with grabbing these charges and throwing them at the boss at the same time. Once the charges are thrown, a TV will activate behind Vosik, which must be destroyed really fast. Once the TV is destroyed, more Siva charges will drop, and the process will need to be done until Vosik's shield is completely destroyed. Once his shield is gone, the team can then damage Vosik until his shield comes back. Once this happens, all Guardians must enter one of the clean rooms to survive his charge attack. There are multiple clean rooms spread across the encounter. All Guardians must enter one of the clean rooms before his charge attack is fully completed, or else you'll wipe. Usually one of the clean rooms is used by all the Guardians because once one Guardian uses a clean room, it can't be used again in the encounter. This gives your team only a few tries to kill Vosik, so each Guardian will need to know which clean room they're going to go to first. Once Vosik is killed, you can then continue to the next encounter. The third encounter is called Siege Engine. Now this encounter is located on a giant bridge where your team needs to deactivate the Siege Engine. Now this encounter has a cool cutscene that plays at the beginning with the Siege Engine activating and beginning to move towards your team. While the Siege Engine is moving across the bridge towards your team, you must destroy both the turrets on the sides and then once to do that, an area in the middle will open and you'll need to destroy that as well. Once this happens, a portion of the siege engine will be destroyed, allowing your fire team to board the engine. This part is really cool because you only have a limited time to get onto the siege engine before it gets all the way to you, so the stakes feel a little bit more intense. The next portion of the encounter is collecting parts for the siege engine before it explodes. Your team will kill captains to gain parts for the siege engine, and when your team is carrying the parts back to the siege engine to deliver them, you'll have to do this relay sort of thing with your teammates because you can only carry the parts for 10 seconds at a time before you get the debuff. Another cool part of this encounter is a mini boss called Mexus will spawn and prevent you from delivering the parts if you don't kill him. Once all the parts have been delivered, the siege engine will begin moving again and deliver you to the next encounter. You can wait and watch, and the siege engine will tumble into the water if you're patient. The fourth encounter is the first half of the Axis boss fight. The room is once again separated into 3 distinct sections. Once the encounter starts and most of the adds have been defeated, 3 captains will spawn. Each captain carries a different elemental cannon, and once these 3 cannons are claimed, they must kill different servitors with their respective elemental cannon. The entire team is helping one another locate different elemental servitors to help kill them faster. Each dead servitor will drop a Siva charge, which will need to be picked up by the players not using cannons. These Siva charges are then thrown at different panels around the boss, and this process must be done 3 total times, with each progressing cycle becoming harder with more adds spawning. Once every cycle is completed, Axis will depower and the next encounter will start once you shoot his glowing chest. The 5th encounter starts when he revives and fuses with a set of mechanical legs. The process to begin the damage phase is a lot like the previous encounter, where you need to get 3 different elemental cannons and kill the respective servitors. When the Siva charges drop, they must be thrown at Axis instead of the panels surrounding him. During the phase, 3 random players will also become empowered. They must each stand in the 3 different lanes of the encounter room, and when Axis teleports to one of them, they must interact with Axis to stun him and allow everyone to deal damage. He will continue to teleport around the map, and the players who are empowered must continue to stun him and deal damage. After he is stunned for the 3rd time, he will be stunned for a lot longer than the first 2. Once Axis recovers, he will teleport back to the starting position and use his insta-kill attack. All players must avoid the attack by leaping onto one of the 4 lighted pillars in the encounter room. The last stand will begin, and he must be killed before he kills everyone with his wipe mechanic. As you can see, all the encounters of the raid are really interesting and a large reason for people's enjoyment of this raid. Now that we got all the encounters done, let's go over the weapons and armor in this raid. Let's first talk about the raid armor. The base sets of raid armor are all pretty sleek, with them resembling the boss quite a lot. However, this isn't why the armor in this raid is so awesome. There was another factor of this armor that included completing special challenges in different encounters in the hard mode of Wrath of the Machine. By doing this, you could obtain special ornaments that could be added to each piece of armor. This would massively impact how the armor looked, giving more bonus effects and making the armor look incredible. This also added to the hype of completing challenges and playing the hard mode version of this raid. Just looking at the armor makes it clear that this was definitely a great raid to 100% complete. Now, each Destiny 1 raid, including Crota's End, King's Fall, and Vault of Glass, all had these armor ornaments added later in Destiny 1, which made replaying every raid in Destiny 1 a must. Just looking at the different ornament armor sets for these raid armors shows you just how much effort Destiny put into raid armor back then. Unfortunately, these armor ornaments haven't yet been added in Destiny 2 for all the reprised raids, which takes down the replayability of Destiny 1 raids in Destiny 2. Again, the armor by itself was pretty average, but with these ornaments, the armor became one of the best armor sets in Destiny 1. It does make me a bit disappointed to see the effort put into revamping raid armor in Destiny 1, because it's not likely to happen in Destiny 2 since the final expansion is coming out in less than 6 months. It would be awesome if every raid in Destiny 2 got the same armor treatment as in Destiny 1, because it would allow for every Destiny player to go through a harder version of each raid to obtain armor ornaments that are certainly worth the effort. Overall, you can clearly see why Wrath of the Machine armor added to the excitement of this raid. Finally, we're on to the weapons. First, let's talk about the exotic weapon from this raid, Outbreak Prime. Now this may sound familiar because it was actually added to Destiny 2 as Outbreak Perfected. If Bungie ever brings back this raid, it'd be really interesting to see what exotic weapon they would add for this raid, since the original has already been added back and revamped. With the intrinsic perk on this exotic weapon, Outbreak Prime, you were able to spawn Siva nanites that attack enemies when enemies take multiple hits from the weapon. The exotic perk was also similar, spawning Siva nanites after precision kills. The Destiny 2 version of this gun did have a few changes though. The Outbreak Perfective now spawned a Siva swarm that increases the amount of damage the gun itself does to the afflicted target, as well as damaging them. The Catalyst also provided an additional damage boost that the nanites do and allows you to spawn more just by killing a target that's already tainted by nanites. You guys can try out this exotic weapon if you want to, because there is a better version in Destiny 2 currently, but you can see how fun this exotic weapon was for this raid. The normal weapons for this raid were also really good. The Steel Medulla, which is a pulse rifle, gave additional damage against Fallen and more agility when equipped. This is one of the perks that all the raid weapons have. The unique perk for the Steel Medulla was called Sign of 4, which gave you additional damage on the 4th burst if you landed your first 3 bursts. The pulse rifle is really good and incredibly easy to use, which made it an easy choice for a lot of new players. The hand cannon, Fever and Remedy, was another incredible weapon from this raid. It once again does extra damage to Fallen and gives bonus agility when equipped. The hand cannon also has quick reaction, which gives you even more agility. The weapon is also really nice because it glows when your agility bonuses are active, allowing you to easily understand what's going on. The sniper rifle from this raid, Ex Machina, was a super high damage sniper. It has a perk called Wait For It, which allows you to reload a lot more ammo when it's fully empty. This allows for great damage against bosses. The Zeal Vector sidearm is a good option for ad clear, but sadly doesn't have a unique perk, so it's one of the less powerful weapons from this raid. The machine gun, If Materia, is another incredible weapon from this raid. The machine gun has the triple double perk, which when paired with triple tap gives an extra 2 rounds of ammo to the magazine when landing 3 precision hits. The damage output from this gun is amazing. This raid also has a full set of elemental exotic weapons. It has the Genesis Chain exotic auto rifle, which has the focused Firefly perk, which causes targets to explode on precision hits. This perk made the auto rifle amazing for ad clear. The next exotic weapon is the exotic version of the Fever and Remedy hand cannon. This version has the reactive reload perk, which grants bonus damage for a short time after reloading and has amazing agility. The exotic version of the Steel Medulla pulse rifle has amazing stats with high stability and good range. The exotic scout rifle, Chaos Dogma, has triple tap and triple double, allowing for you to fire much longer than most other scout rifles in Destiny 1. The encounters, weapons, and armor all combine together to make Wrath of the Machine one of the best raids in Destiny history. Again, it is the only raid that Destiny has yet to bring to Destiny 2, and it may come a few seasons into the final shape. Overall, it's obvious why so many people enjoy this raid and want it to come to Destiny 2, and hopefully one day we'll see it as a remaster. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you guys in a future video. Have a good day.